saying, everybody.
So hey guys, I arrived here a little bit too late. I didn't see the interaction of the police, but some people give me the footage. You will see it in a couple of seconds. But what happened is like the police came here on scene and they took fuel from the truck driver and the volunteer. So I asked them what happened. Check it out. What did you see?
What did I see? I came in, I went to Coventry. I've been staying at the hotel here. And when we came back from downtown, we couldn't get in with the cab. The police was blocked off. They had it blocked off. So we got out of the car and we're coming over here to have a coffee and say goodnight to everybody and goodbye. And I saw all these fire department big vehicles, and then I saw the police car, and then when I saw the police up here and the one officer with the assault rifle, and it was very much to intimidate us. And the group of people here are peaceful, loving, kind, family oriented, and you know, and we sung "O Canada" after they left, and we hugged it out.
You know, it was a very powerful speech. What he did was very peaceful, and then the police officers just rolled out. All the vehicles left, and they were in formation, and I started marching like robots, like soldiers, and. There was almost no conversation between the police and the people, and then they left.
Now, how much? They didn't take any fuel that they used to drive their trucks, or if they did, they took a very small amount. It's colored diesel that they took. You can't even use it to drive a rig, right? And they took the fuel that they used to keep warm. And I don't know if they realized they did that or not, but that is what they did.
So, how much in the fuel they took away?
3,200 liters of fuel.
To me, this was clearly an intimidation raid. It was to show a force. You know, there's been a lot of war of words, harsh words from the mayor and the council over the last 3 days, and they had to have some kind of red meat to show everybody, look what we did tonight. Yeah. We took their fuel. We're going to hit them where it counts. We've got the power. We can outgun them, so to say. Mm-hmm. And that's what I believe happened tonight. They took the heat and fuel for the volunteers. Yeah. Like, really? That's what we're doing now in Canada? But that, to me, like, I feel sorry for the frontline officers. A lot of them are very respectful. They have families. They don't like doing this, but they're getting bad orders from a bad chief that needs to resign.
And again, I don't want to say that the police knew that they were taking the fuel that they were using to heat themselves up in the tents. But unfortunately, I think when they get back to their headquarters, they're going to realize what they took, and maybe they'll feel bad, maybe they won't. I don't know.
How many police officers went for taking away the fuel?
I heard there was 100 or more. There was police officers situated up there. Some people were calling them snipers. There's video footage of police officers up on the top there. I mean, there's hundreds of people that were recording police officers situated around higher buildings. I don't know what they were expecting. Again, these are just like working people who drive a truck for a living.
What you saw is like taking away a lot of fuel that you need.
All the fuel away. There's families that are staying in their trucks. They've taken away most of their livelihood, and they need this fuel so they can sleep with their children and be warm. So now they've said that anybody taking fuel or food to any of the truckers will be looking at being arrested and having fines and charged.
So do you know if they have another option to make them warm? Because without fuel, it would be a little bit difficult.
Everybody should know that the fuel that was taken is the fuel that was to keep them warm in their tents. So please, everybody, if you could have a heart and think of any way you can to help them stay warm, they need that. And you can go to Give, Send, Go and actually leave messages. You can say, hey, this is how I can help you. It's not just about money on Give, Send, Go. So you can, like, there's Freedom Convoy 2022 and adopt a trucker, and you don't have to just leave money. You can say, this is how I can help. I can help this way. I can help. I have a way for you guys to keep warm, or space heaters or something or whatever.
Because what we saw since the beginning of the movement, we saw a really nice police, really human, really helpful. Did you see something changing in their behavior?
Well, today they just didn't want to talk to anybody. It seems like they had their orders. I have no idea how they felt about it, but it was just kind of like a robotic response. They were like, it's similar to what happened at Adamson Barbecue, where they were just like, you know, it made no sense to talk to them. They just didn't care, you know. So I guess orders. That's it.
Yeah.
They didn't want to be here. A lot of them. And I know just following orders is not an excuse. However, there is a time of transition right now, right? And that's why we spent a lot of time talking to people tonight and saying, you know, you need to go home tonight and think about this. Is this where you want, is this a country, the type of country you want to serve as an officer? Or is it time to say, you know what? We don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. We don't want to turn on our own citizens, you know? Every law enforcement officer looks at this and goes, you know what? I need to have a talk with my superior and say, you know what? We don't want to do this. This is not where we want to go as a country. Because do we want to take fuel from the people that pay us? These are hard-working middle-class Canadians. We cannot go down this road and remain a semblance of a free country. There's no way.
So where the fuel was come from and where the fuel will go, you think?
So the fuel was donated, I believe, by a farmer. It was on a farm tank, so I assume it, you know, it had the little slow-moving vehicle sign. So I'm guessing a farmer probably brought it in and donated it. The fuel's taken. I'm sure it's been seized and put in a compound. You know, this is now going to go before the courts, right? Because what happened tonight is a very upsetting and probably convoluted legal precedent that it sets in Canada. Because I'm not aware of similar tactics being used, at least not in these kind of contexts. There have been such tactics when things turned violent and there was, you know, open clashes with protesters, but typically never when relationships were good with boots on the ground, right? So I'm guessing that went into a compound tonight, and it's going to be held probably pending a resolution of this situation that we're currently finding ourselves in.
So what would be the consequences from the fact that they take away your fuel?
Well, I think what's going to happen is there won't be a shortage of more fuel coming in if they need it. Unfortunately, tonight we'll have to find some other way. You know, they're going to find some ways. There's a very, very strong team of resourceful volunteers here, but at some point in time, they're going to have to find some alternative fuel sources and bring them in. You know, they'll get through the night, and people have been so generous. As you saw, hundreds of thousands of people literally from all over the world are pouring their support in. There will be no shortage of ways to get through this. You know, the only thing we don't know now is at what time, you know, what's the next step for the other side, or what are they going to take next, right?
Yeah, and do you know if they have a B plan to make them warm, all the trucker, if any fuel can go to them?
Yes, we do.
Yeah?
There certainly will. It's not things that we can necessarily divulge, but there are other ways. People are volunteering to do. They're volunteering to bring it in any way they need to, if it's 1 liter at a time.
So that will not discourage them.
This will not only not discourage, this will galvanize people across Ottawa, across Canada, and across the world to understand we were accusing them of being tyrants, okay? And people took issue with that. Tonight, they found themselves guilty of being tyrants. So now there's no doubt, right? Yeah. So now people understand this is exactly why we're here, because of what happened tonight. Is this the kind of country we want to live in? I don't. We want to be free.
Amen.
So at Rebel News, we want to defend all the truck driver of what is happening right now all across Canada. If you want to help them, to hire top-notch lawyer to defend them, go to truckerlawyer.ca. You can donate generously. Please